Hello, Sly, and hello, Bob Lynn. Thank you for joining me today. How are you two doing?
Great. Thanks for asking, man. How about you?
Doing pretty well myself, just been busy lately and dealing with the dumpster that is World of Warships right now. So,
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good myself. I'm enjoying taking care of the little one and then watching the fire from a distance.
Goes to get popcorn.
Right.
so I just wanted to kind of start off by doing a quick reflection on 2024, and I wanted to know what y'all think were the ups and all of the downs of 2024 and kind of get started on what's already happening in 2025 and just the whole chaos that it is. So,
Man, Bob, this is gonna be like our video a little while back where we tried to stay positive.
Yeah, I remember. That's what I thought of instantly. The podcast was that 2023 or 2024. It's all a blob for me now. I can't remember anything.
Dude, I can't either. The last 5 months just
Yeah, I
gone.
mean, to touch on what you asked, Nukes, let's rehash what actually happened of positive things in 2024. We had an update, some updates concerning CVs. I think I remember that. More so AA, which was really not that much of a difference. Let's be real.
Yeah, no.
What else was there? Like I'm being completely serious. I can't remember. Let me check my YouTube channel to see what I made videos of. Maybe that'll be
I'm
a way
going
to
to
find
send
out.
us.
well,
Yeah, true. Zendesk, good idea. No,
one of
but I
the
mean,
things they did was the only good thing I've seen really that is a big impact was really hiring Maddie. I think she was definitely one of the biggest pluses for Blitz because she really seems to be very attentive, but these devs hire these community managers and these contributors, but don't listen to them. So,
yeah, that's definitely, in my opinion, the biggest problem. I mean, I haven't talked much to Maddie, but I like just like you. I feel like she's trying her best and she actually wants to improve it. So I really hope that she doesn't get any blame from Wargaming for this because it's not her fault, nor the devs for that matter. But yeah, you're right.
the
One
whole
of the most
finance team.
positive, the whole corporate suit behind it. Sorry for speaking out of my you know thoughts here, but I'm not a CC anymore. I can really say whatever I want.
We could say everything before too. I think a
Yeah,
Yeah,
lot
we
of people
could,
have
we
that.
could.
Yeah, besides the overt, like, hey, don't buy crates, don't buy this,
Yeah,
don't buy, like,
exactly.
we could say, hey, we disagree with you purchasing this. And like that. That's an opinion. But no, like we were always able to say everything. I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that. It's like
Yeah,
we can do that,
we're
but
not silenced.
no, we're not silenced at all. And I don't think there's ever been any real like reaction from worrying on anything other than I think early on I remember accidentally saying don't buy crates on the stream and I had Valk message me. um but going over the year actually I was kind of we had the multi-selection rewards from the Blitz Pass. That was
Oh,
actually a really nice upgrade.
yeah. If you don't consider the new
that's true.
prices, yeah, that was actually very
We're not
nice.
there yet, Bob.
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. But yeah, good change.
Yeah, I
Plus,
mean, I think we can't think of any more pluses. And now I guess we should start with the big problems of 2024. I'm going to start off by bots. They promised us they were going to fix bots over multiple updates, and all they did was add more ships and add a Italian tech line of bots that will ruin your life, and are still bugged as crap and stupid.
Oh, they nerfed them. They nerfed them. They don't get Citadel strikes anymore.
but I mean, when they said they were gonna
I
fix
really think they just
bots,
removed the metal, but
yeah, they just scraped off a couple layers. No, but like when they said they were gonna fix bots, I mean, I didn't expect them to add in more bots because that's really all they did, right? They made it so every nation could be a bot, right? And they could
mhm.
have camos and they would be a little bit more intelligent, but I mean, that's not really the core issue with bots, right? The core issue is they're completely broken in games. So fine, they saturate games because there's a lack of players, but yeah, they're programmed so they're intentionally toxic to players and unfun to play against. The fact they
That
haven't fixed that is insane.
so one thing you just said about there, Bob, is we're running into more of them.
Yeah.
That's the main reason why I look as the server combination that's supposed to be happening in the next update. That screams the game's dying.
Yeah. When I saw that,
That was a
man.
massive red flag to me.
Yeah, dude. When I saw that, I remember I had already, quit in my head. Right. I had already said goodbye in my head. So it just
Yeah.
solidified my belief. Right. When I saw that, because like, yeah, it's gonna help. But it also, like you say, it's a major admission that it's done.
Well,
Yeah,
the
and
lag is
I
going to be a
mean,
bigger problem. That's the
Yeah.
big issue. Is the lag is going to kill it. Sorry, you go nukes.
and I noticed that too because I have accounts on all three servers, and you know, since I'm on the main Ruler of the Waves team, I have the Europe account, and I used to love to play on Europe because there was always full matches. I mean, it was the most active server by far, but what I've noticed recently is you cannot get full games anymore consistently. I mean, it's about once every 6 games, if that, that you'll get a full match now in Europe, and it seems just that all three servers are just starting to go.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about the server merges, right? Because you were speaking about the lag issues some people might have. Like, where would they place this server, this physical server, right, or whatever? Where are they renting it from? Because
So you actually you'll the one server idea is not one server. You'll actually have a few servers in multiple places. It's now they're melding the data accounts together.
oh, okay, so
So you're still going to have a North American server. You're still going to have a European server. It's just now all the servers are going to work together, and you might be bouncing off one another. Now, depending on how they do the logic, oh boy, if a European person gets a American match, they might be
yeah,
bouncing through the EU server over to the NA server to the other people's phones and then back. And that, oof, God,
God,
That's
yeah,
that's what's
that's
scary to me because matchmaking as it is already pretty tragic, let's be honest. It's pretty bad right now. And
mhm.
we know they do not know how to code stuff for their dear lives because look at AI and just all of this other stuff. And if they're going to combine all three servers, they might just melt the whole game apart if they do not fix stuff. So,
Yeah, that's
oh,
the thing.
I don't like the AI comment. I just want to be, kind of, do as Bob said in in his video recently. I like that. You got to be positive where the positive is, that, or at least kind of don't blame them. The bots were probably built years ago. And like that, they were probably never meant to stay in their shape that they are this long. So we don't know if they actually did anything because I remember I talked to Maddie about this. They said that they fixed the 360-degree turning bots 6 months ago.
Yeah,
That obviously did not happen.
yeah. I mean, they might have had a plan, and they went up to the higher ups and said, "This is what we want to do." And I think Terry said in his video, "Well, you might want to do that, but we want to print money." So
Yeah.
I think
and
they
that's kind of
had the intentions to fix the game, but they just hadn't have the means, right?
And
that's
I
kind of
think,
a
sorry, you go.
recurring pattern because what you have to realize is yes, you can make more money in the short term, but if you hold all of these bugs together and then do something like, what just happened that we're going to talk about here in a minute, and everything's just going to kind of pile together, and that's how the game is actually going to die because yes, you might make more short-term money from events or whatever, but in the long term, that's just going to have everything pile together. Short-term money has
Yeah.
long-term consequences.
This really goes back to the tick and talk idea of game development. You have your tick updates, whatever, and then you have your talks that just massively go. And recently, after especially Bob Lynn's video, not to quote you every single time, but your video just nailed the frickin' point there.
Thank you so
I
much,
like
man.
that. The whole idea is there's not a lot of innovation happening, and it goes back to a whole video from Unclipped, I think it's called, a long time ago about Warframe. And around 2018, 2019, they were raking in cash. They were making a crap load of money because what they were doing where they were just releasing these weapons and releasing warframes, but they weren't really iterating on anything. They weren't making anything new or fun. And the creative director there, and at the time, and then Rebecca Ford, who's now the creative director, I believe, there, or the whatever it is, but they were like, we could have just kept on releasing stuff. We could have just kept on, releasing weapons. We could have just kept on releasing new cosmetics, or we could do something crazy. And that's when they decided to go open world. That's when they started to just go just nutso with the game. We haven't had anything like that. Grand battles, cool. You have what, stretched maps, which in reality need to not be stretched. When was the last time a new game mode got added to this game? Like 2 years ago?
I can't even remember, dude. What arms race? But they never. They said they wanted to add it, but they never did.
Yeah, and they do have a new game mode supposedly coming up soon, but that's just literally TDM faster.
Oh yeah, that
As
was
far
the
as I've heard.
quick fire, rapid fire game mode they talked about. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like a last stage effort. At least to me, it feels like a last stage effort to get people to play because it's going to be shorter matches and I don't know, less players, I guess. But yeah, again, it's just like you say, they don't fix the core things. They don't innovate. One of my biggest things was why don't you, excuse my language, effing make a PC port like Will of Takes Blitz? And I know that's going to cost tons of money, but that would be an innovation to me that screams, okay, we can improve the game in the future. We can build on it because of a new engine. And players that, are PC or phone or maybe even console could do it. And I know that's something that can never happen now, but I think it's because they took the completely wrong direction in the beginning. And, in the end, it just ended up being a money farm, a milk cow, like I said in my video.
I don't know. It's Unity. It's not a hard thing to move it over. And I know I'm a mobile dev and I know some Unity dev is going to be like, it's a little bit harder than you think, but it's not that hard. It's a different export button, but the bigger thing is supporting keyboard and mouse and controllers. That's the bigger thing, and maybe their setup and code doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing.
And not just talking about bots, but what other, like, because we have the monetization model. And just talking about the model itself, not talking about the anything that's recent. It's an old model. Like, you look at all the gacha games nowadays, it's all small microtransactions, but hundreds of small microtransactions.
Yeah.
It's all about getting you to spend 99 cents 50 times, not, $5 every poll.
Yeah, it certainly feels. I mean, if I look at other games where I've spent money, like especially mobile games when I was younger, on gacha games, yeah, it was easier to spend those $2, and you actually felt like you didn't get ripped off. Whereas here in Blitz, you spend $50, right, to get some gold, to then buy 10 crates where you get nothing. Like, if you don't,
Or
if
you're
the-
buying one camo that's
Yeah.
$16
it's
for
insane.
one ship.
And the camo might not even be the best one, right?
Yeah.
There's just no incentive for a consumer to spend money. Like I've always talk about you use Warframe, right, or Metal Storm maybe. I use Enlisted, and you probably can also both recognize this, that in other games you play, the store is just like the basic human invention of I give you this, you give me that, right? And it's nice. There's sometimes sales, and you can get what you want. So once in a while, when you have some leftover money, you say, okay, I'm going to get that $40 premium. And you do it. You enjoy it. Wargaming don't do that. Like, I simply don't understand. It's an outdated model that doesn't make sense with a consumer market of gamers that are over crates. If you
At
I
least
kind
we
of
got
like the
bundles.
way Flammy
Got
put
bundles
it
back.
is
And
for especially mobile games, it was called microtransactions because they're a bunch of small transactions. But here it's macro transactions, and you're doing tons of massive transactions if you want anything. It's not just $2 or $3 here; it's $50 for a tier A, and if you want a good tier 10, you could be paying several hundred, if not $1,000.
it's just not accessible to the players they're trying to reach are it's a free to play game on a phone. It's probably the broadest category of players they're trying to reach, but it's maybe only 20 to 30% of the players that will be able to afford these things, at least in my opinion. I've gotten a lot of my viewers who say, I come from this and this country where the rates are different, and for them it's absolutely insane to spend any kind of money on Blitz. And well, that's also gotten worse, but yeah, that's another thing.
Well, then why don't we go ahead and start on what's going on now here in 2025 and what wargaming just did to us.
So
Which part?
yeah, which part? Well, what else have they done?
Well, I guess let's go ahead and just start with those price increases.
Yeah, well, I
It's
mean,
why.
Okay, actually, I think we need to take this from a very analytical side of things. No one is mad that the prices increased. The
true.
problem is the price is already high, and they did not equate it well to the currency of a region as well. So literally, you have like Turkish people, it's like a month's salary for the biggest bundle. And like that, where like over here, you make $100 pretty easily. I'm betting pretty EU is probably pretty similar.
Yeah,
But I think it was like, God, the Filipinos got just like straight up, they can't play anymore. Vietnamese, they can't even buy the small bundles.
they got shafted pretty much.
Yeah.
Any Europe, region that's not Europe or North America, right? Got shafted pretty much, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, that's when I saw when they said to us when I saw I'd been on holiday, Christmas, so I hadn't checked the Discord at all, and I go in and I see that message, and I saw Pigbay that he said, well, very very nonchalant, very apathetic, just like, yep, I'm out, see ya.
Pretty much.
And some things were said, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it's from time for me to departure as well. It's also because of the fact that just the blatant disrespect when you haven't done anything else, like I say in the video, you got so much money from me as a whale and any other whale, or the player who doesn't spend that much. Anybody who spent money has supported this game, and the best thing you can come up with after 6 years is making everything more expensive. I think that's how a lot of people in the community saw it. So it was almost
Yeah,
nice,
and
I
a lot
guess,
of it
that people
is just
were
that
all
lack of
agreeing.
transparency.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even communicate. And Maddie's been really good at making sure they're communicating for a while, for a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
And like that. So I felt like this was a bit of a, especially when they were basically saying we're not going to announce it to the community. It's like everyone announces their price increases, except for of course retail stores, which bump their prices and then say it goes on sale for the original price. But whatever, that's a whole nother problem. But it's like Amazon releases, yes, they're increasing prices. Why? Because inflation happens. That does happen. Or hey, they're offering more value per their items, and like that, which is like what you do is you yeah, we have to increase prices. Everyone understands it, but like just doing it, just slip it right in. Screw
Yeah.
that. No.
That was actually what pissed me off greatly. In my original video, I had a whole section talking about how they were gonna, not tell people about this, so I couldn't talk because I was under NDA. So I was happy to see that, the people found out. But how did the community find out? Did they make a tiny, tiny announcement, or did somebody else in the community figure out? How did it come to pass? Because I haven't heard anything.
Wait, like when it like the prices actually changed?
Oh wait, so they just changed in game. They didn't actually say anything.
They didn't say it. They haven't said anything.
Oh my god, I misunderstood it. I thought they actually went out and said something.
No,
Oh
they
my
just changed prices.
bro.
I think it was January 1st. Literally, everyone woke up, January 1st hit, and the prices changed over.
Dude, that is such a bad way to start the year, man. That's a bad omen for the game. Just
The way that Bob, we were talking about the CC stuff. I literally thought they were going to do this like post their birthday event or something like that. Like they were like, we're going to push this off. We're not going to do it. I'm just like, because they were planning on doing it right after Christmas, and I was like, do you want to kill your freaking like everyone just got paid. Everyone just got paid. Shut up.
I think we were all just scratching our heads and thinking, is it time to go down with the ship or abandon ship, or maybe jump ship? Because I've been thinking that one of these three things at least.
Someone asked me why I wouldn't go down with the ship and everything like that because I was holding out. I was waiting for the actual increases and everything before I dropped out. And my wife came up with the perfect joke. She's like, I do hospice you play video games. I'm like, oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't really go down with this. She takes care of the dead. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. But what did you answer to the guy? Because I mean, I have not received any hate or anything. I mean, I don't know if you saw that as like
I,
negative or hate or anything, but I was so happy to see the community's reaction.
yeah, I think I only got like one or two, and most of the time they were more along the lines of, is everyone has to increase their prices at some point. I'm like, that's not the problem I have. And they were like, oh, because you can only say so much in text. There's a lot of stuff in interpretation. There's
Yeah.
also like freaking paragraphs of stuff on Discord that we're all talking about. So it's like there's a lot of things that can
Hmm.
get condensed down in and or misread. So it's just eventually everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I agree with you." So I haven't really received hate other than people being not understanding, or
Yeah.
they're kind of like, "Hey, why didn't you do this instead?" Because a few people have kind of said, "Hey, why don't you join Soulfire's thing and not spend for a month?" And I'm like, because we've seen them do the exact same thing that they did over in PC. Don't spend for a month. Well, what did
Yeah.
Wargaming do? Waited.
Yeah.
They held the sales even. They had like one of the most barren months of the year,
Mhm.
like that, and just waited. They were like, cool, if you guys aren't going to spend money, we're not going to try to grab money from you right now. We'll just wait a month and then get your money next month because you guys are waiting 1 month.
And that's it. That's the thing. I so support not spending money in the game, but if then just don't do that in general because yeah, like you say, it's not gonna change anything if it's just a month. I mean, we can't call for a boycott because people will still spend money in the game, right? But I like what they're doing, just not spending money. Example, Terry and DFA. I mean, they've said they won't do premium stuff, which I think is the only thing you can do if you want to still do content and or play the game, right? Just don't support them, you know?
Well, I know I stopped doing. I just started putting up the image text, being like, "Hey, this is coming to the game, whatever," like that, because I didn't want to make any more videos on it because they were all coming out in crates or some shit like that. Like, was it the Prince von Oranje or
Yeah,
Orange?
Prince Van Oranje, Van
Thank you.
Oranje.
Thank you for being able to say it because I can't. Not like that. It's that type of stuff that came out. Like that's the first one in over half a year that didn't come out in a crate.
Wait, how did it come out? Sonar Sweep?
Solar sweep. And if you had a particular portrait, it was almost $60 for a tier 10
Wow,
ship.
that's.
That's a straight up upgrade to the Howden Liu.
I mean, that's not a $60, That's, but yeah, just not a Sonar Sweep. Just make it a bundle and give all the items in the sweep in the bundle. There you go.
I know, right? I don't get. They are starting to do special offers. We do have some wins from the last year. That they actually, I think they finally folded and they're like, okay, cool, we'll do bundles.
I mean, I think we're gonna have to, watch and see what happens. But I think this has to show wargaming in some capacity that people are just tired of the crates, at least, and maybe they'll tone them down a little bit. I don't know. That might be wishful thinking. But I did.
It,
Did you guys see that we got mentioned on Flamu's stream last night? The whole
yeah,
Blitz community. It was, he kind of clowned on us, but I have to be honest, it's just fucking hilarious because they went through the same thing, and then it
I
also
mean,
happens in Blitz.
having played with Lamu way back then in PC and dealing with him then and seeing him over the years, he's the king of shit takes.
Yeah, he is. He is exactly. I mean,
He didn't understand the full situation.
of
He
course
didn't,
he did.
let alone the first post that he commented on was Soulfire's.
Yeah,
It wasn't. While Soulfire's big and he's awesome, I like him. He's not like one of the leads of the community. You and I's post being up there would have made a hell of a lot.
yeah, but then again, even then, he didn't quite understand. Like yeah, like you say, he's just the king of shit takes. But I felt it as I was kind of tipsy last night after some wine. So when I saw that, I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "We did it, boys! We made it to the big screen. We made it to the big audience for what 5 minutes, and then it's forgotten again."
Yeah. His entire thing of just like, yeah, we've been dealing with that too. I'm like, yeah, but you guys also have like 30, you guys have, shipyards that actually have a crap load of things in there. You've got so much to your game. only
have
that.
it so much better than we do. I mean, that's what I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, sure. I mean, if you have it so bad, Flamu, why are you still making content for the game? Like that was my immediate thought. You're still doing this, so yeah, it is what it is. Wargaming.
I also think with the price increases, I don't think anyone in the community, except for maybe just a very small amount of them, would really have had a problem with it if we knew the extra money they're getting from it was going towards, fixing the game, fixing these bugs that have been issues since 2018.
100%.
100%, yeah.
And
It's
they also lied to, so I don't know if you saw it on the community Discord. They said that they responded to somebody who emailed them about it, and they said they were transparent about everything. And that's just them lying
yeah.
crazy.
I don't think. Do you guys remember? I made a video that got quite a lot of hate from some people where I said the future of Blitz was looking good. I think it was in the beginning of the year 2024. And I'm just gonna go out here and say it now because this is based on something we got in a CC meeting a long, long time ago, where they insinuated that we were going to be getting a better version. Right? They were going to look into fixing some of these core issues. They didn't say what they were going to do, but the way I interpreted it was that they were going to completely fix the game. So I think a lot of people also feel like, how could this happen so fast? Because that's how I see it. I saw at the beginning of 2024, us CCs were getting some really good news. They were talking about some cool stuff that we had been asking for a long time. CV changes to bots,
So
and then it all just disappeared. I mean, that was also one of the things that just as a player, I'm like, we've been so loyal. It's just dumb at this point. It's a waste of time. So, I sincerely regret thinking and leading the players to think that it was looking bright because, 8 months later, it's kind of not looking good.
I think it doesn't help that it was only recent that we had some decent events because events have just sucked this year in general.
Yeah,
We
well,
didn't have a bad Thanksgiving, and Christmas wasn't all that bad either. You could actually finish one entire tree. Thank God. Um, the entire idea that anyone thought, yeah, you know what, let's put it this rewards tree thing around and then only let people finish half a branch. Oh my God, it's such a defeat, like right into the ego of every single player.
yeah,
Um,
no, it's just also like, why would you design it intentionally to be, impossible? Well,
yeah,
so you have to pay, right?
yeah.
When it
Well, they
hits you.
fixed it. Yeah, they kind of made a decent Christmas event. They have brought back bundles, except now it's all in the special offers, which I don't. I completely agreed. I wish they would have just done that earlier. Is hey, we're no longer going to allow for a direct purchase of a ship. You're going to have to buy gold, and then you can convert it. That way, you can do the scummy things of and oh, the ship costs a little bit more than the $50 deal, or the little bit more than the $30 deal, so you have to buy extra.
Exactly.
Every game does that.
And that's fine. Do
Yeah.
that. Just we don't want crates. We want to be guaranteed getting this stuff we want. Yeah.
I'm fine with crates as long as bundles are happening too.
Yeah, as long as it's an alternative that you can choose. Because I'm gonna say this right now. I'm a gambling degenerate. I do love me some crates, but yeah, realistically speaking, when you have an apartment and a budget bills, right, you can't do crates. So, as somebody who also has a brain, it's nice to be able to pick. Do I want to gamble the 1,000 gold I have, or do I want to save up for 7,000 so I can buy it, right?
Yep.
And just because you said there's more to come, is this just the tip of the iceberg, or is there a lot more that y'all can't talk about that's coming that's really gonna screw the game up?
I don't know what you might be talking about, Sly, but I didn't stay in there for too long, so and you can't. We're still
No.
under
So this is
NDA,
actually
so
this is because you were out for a bit longer than I was.
yeah.
Like that. So let's just go over the recent things, and people can extrapolate from here. And this is a bigger problem overall in the game. But I fear that, especially with how PC went, it's only going to get worse. Eskimo came in and completely made Cossack completely Useless. Cossack is just complete crap at now in compared to Eskimo. We look at Prince. Can you please say the Prince ship again?
Prinz Ruprecht? No, Prinz van Oranje.
Thank you. That one. That one came in completely overridden. Howden Liu.
Yep.
There is no in Trump. There is no reason to grind the Howden Liu line. No, there's no reason. I don't like that. There's ships that are coming up in PC that are going to get filtered down to here that I just look at that, and that's just basically that's a replacement for this ship. That's a replacement for this tech tree ship. This ship is not going to be like it's just I would actually say the Cecilia wasn't an incredible upgrade over the CC. It's definitely a side grade. And with that, I'm quickly grabbing. Let me grab the patch notes.
It's a different flavor, at least. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it is a different one. But there's a few more ships in here that are coming in. Navarin basically straight up makes most of tier 9 completely irrelevant. It's a tier 10 at tier 9. Which is becoming really really consistent because we just had the Scarlet Thunder as well, which is insanely powerful.
Better than the Duncan.
Which Duncan's already one of the best. Yes, yeah, Schroeder, or Choder, as many people call it.
Choder. Yeah.
I look at the Western Dragon, the sister ship to the Venezia. Specifics wise, I don't know anything, but all that screams is here's just a better Venezia, and that's. Like no, like don't, and when they're not really buffing ships. I was looking through the patch notes. Do you guys remember that they buffed the HE on the French battleship line a while back?
No, I did not know that. Why?
Did you remember that? Yeah, no, they did that last year. But no, like, we haven't had a lot of upgrades. We haven't had a lot of things. God forbid we have Black Genon. Dear Lord, if that's just a Black Carbon or a Dalian, God.
Imagine if it has the same concealment as pre-nerf Genon.
Oh God,
that would completely kill it.
It's going to be kind of like the situation that Black Republic had with regular Republic. What they're going to do is have a nerfed ship. You have the Genon, which is still a good ship, and then they're going to release a black version of that ship that's extremely OP.
Yep. And it's becoming more and more consistent.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad maybe 3 years ago. You would see, like, for example, Black Republic, right? Came out, 3 or 4 years ago. You had those every year, a couple of ships that came out that were notorious Smolensk. But then, you saw Austin and Jinan, and it kept going. We got Gdansk, we got, what else is coming out? All these new ships. It's just, yeah, and it all goes back to what you were talking about, with the premium stuff, that they're power creeping everything that's free to play, and especially old stuff. Sure, there's some old tech trees that can never get power crept, but like, if we take Yamato, for example, there's like 4 or 5 different versions of it. What makes it special for a free to play player to get Yamato, and then you go all the way to tier 10, and then you see Shikishimas, ARP Yamatos, Yamato 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I can't remember the names of them. It also just makes the game, in my opinion, uncharming. It doesn't feel like it has a direction. You know what I mean? It's like if you look at a game like War Thunder, they have so many vehicles, but it somehow feels, like it's the same theme all around. I also noticed that with all these new different collaborations we're getting, it just doesn't look like a warship game anymore. It looks like, I don't know what it looks like, but it in my opinion, it also just adds to the negativity and the unattractiveness of World of Warships Blitz in 2024 with all this new stuff. Just crap.
And again, that kind of goes to the point earlier. They're making a ton of money off this game. There's no denying it. Even though it's a relatively small community, they're making a lot of money. And if they have the money to do a Star Trek or a Transformers collaboration, why can't they just put a tiny bit of money aside to fix the issues? And some of the issues are big issues that are going to take a while to fix, but there are so many issues that they could just fix by changing a few lines of code.
Yeah.
Especially balancing. I don't know how many, like Bob knows, that I've put together documents.
Yep.
Multiple, trying to, and reasoning, and getting Granddad to go through, you to go through, Bob, and so many other people. Just to go through and be like, just give it one extra, usage of this. Give this a little bit better turn time, which actually they did with the Nevsky and Yodo.
Yeah.
They did the exact upgrades we wanted. Both those are amazing ships right now.
Nevsky's pog, man. It's so good.
Oh yeah, Yodo is just a sleeper. Do not let that thing live too long.
I actually haven't tried it yet since the buffs.
Oh.
So if I do go back once in a while, I will. I'll have to try it out.
I'll still play the game. Like that's what a lot of people are like. Oh my god, I'll see you in the next game. I'm like, no, I'm actually still gonna play because actually, if you really want to mess up their metrics a lot, stop spending money.
Exactly.
But keep playing because
keep
then all of a
playing.
sudden now the free to play versus pay to play numbers go down, and the more those go down, the more we can get a little bit more power to get them to actually change and do their attitude. But if you just stop playing, that's a retention number. Who cares about retention? Retention in video games is crap anyways. So
I mean, I've spent too much time on my main account to not want to play it again. I think a lot of people also they're like, are you gonna quit playing completely? No, dude. I have what 17,000 battles plus what we have on our press accounts. I'm not gonna give up on my main account. I have spent more money and time than I want to admit on this game, and yeah, that's not just gonna be for nothing. Unless they close the game, I'll still be playing it.
oh, but you know what? We are totally gonna do a live stream
Hell
on the
yeah.
night of the server closure. Server closures
Dude,
are so much
penguin
fun.
moment. We gotta do the club penguin invasion. Blitz.
Everyone, put up your ping highs.
Invade the servers with ping highs. Talk shit about CVs and world chat. Oh man, spit on crates.
So yeah, I remember. This is kind of funny. Is someone you're just saying that the game doesn't look the same with all the cartoonish and ARP stuff and everything. January January's called Cartoon Creations.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, dude, stop! Just stop making so much. I think it's a bias for me, Yeah, make a button so people can turn it off for immersion. God damn it!
Yeah,
we talked about that.
historical mode.
Yeah,
All
historical
candles are
mode.
set to- yep.
And you'll still have the effects of the camo, of course, but turned off. I mean, it's gonna save you a tiny amount of processing power on your phone as well, I guess. So
Yeah. Especially with the Prince's camo. That thing looks awesome with the Prince camo. Art department still carrying the game.
yeah, true. The
Confirmed.
Prince Varanya camo, that Gouden copy, that fire camo. Damn, bro, that's nice. But again, the camo's not gonna do anything for me. It's just a visual treat.
Yeah.
Yep. And since we're running out of time, I wanted to ask two more questions, and one is kind of more of a point. And I'm going to start off with just this for wargaming and for everyone that a community contributor that has the word community in it, and their job is supposed to be, it's a two-way thing. They're supposed to be able to help gain sales for wargaming because they're going to be able to show the ships, but they're also there to give insight to wargaming. And that's what a community contributor's job is they're supposed to give the game feedback and tell them what the community wants, hence the word community. But they're taking the community out of community contributor, and they're just making you a contributor to their money.
Yeah, right there. That's the $1 million answer, not question. You put it that you hit it all right on the head, nail on the head. That's yeah.
To follow up with that, Nukes, to just kind of give you a little bit more credence to that. I went through my last 2 or so years, or actually 3 years almost, of being a community contributor for this game and putting up content. I think that my most significant change that actually changed the game was the most recent Yodo and Nevsky changes. Everything else, I don't think I changed a damn thing about this game with as much feedback as I sent Wargaming.
You want to hear what I got changed? And I want to add something, because I didn't add that in my video, which I did want to. I never did as much as you did, Sly. Like, not even close. But I think that's because I saw early on that they just didn't implement all the good ideas. Like Granddad, you, Sly, i3ID, you guys have been in that chat for years. And the only thing I could change was when I was ranting in 20 minutes about the customer service. I noticed they added a little text when you buy the Blitz Pass. It says you can't buy the Blitz Pass 24 hours before it ends. That's the only thing I've changed. Adding that text. Because that was not there before. That's all we've done, bro. Yeah.
And then the final question is, if you have one message for wargaming or just the devs or finance team that might be listening to this, if they do listen to it, what do you have to say to them? And then I'll let Bob start and slide to me.
Mm. Like, if they want to be serious about this, come out now, communicate what your direction is, listen to the community, implement the changes, and you'll see the game pick up again, I think. But you have to be fast. If you're just gonna milk this cow, just pull the plug. I don't know, man. Pull the plug and give people some compensation so they can go play Legends instead. Because I am apathetic. I do not give a rat's ass. I don't trust them anymore. I don't believe in them. But if they really do want to do it, it has to be now. They have to act now. That's it.
I don't know if I'm gonna break NDA on this one, but I'm gonna say it no matter what. Maddie, tell your goddamn devs and your entire team to go hang out with some of the community contributors and the community. The tone deaf responses from wargaming and lack of communication are destroying the game. Like, virtually, as a community contributor, with the information that I know, when people joke around that the devs don't even play their own games, I legitimately can't defend that. I legitimately do not know if you guys even play this game. I see Metalstorm devs. I literally have run into Metalstorm devs on the freaking live server. They're playing their games. Warframe, they're playing the game. But the buffs, sometimes the changes, the introductions, you need to get more people in the community listening to us and playing the game and being within it than having Maddie take down the notes that the CCs and a few people maybe on the main Discord say and then regurgitating it to you. We need to have an actual response. And then I'm going to join right there with Bob Lynn, is if you guys just aren't going to respond, just shut the damn thing down. Let us have 1 more month or 2 more months of enjoyable time. It will be a freaking last hurrah of the entire thing and shut it down. Like, it's so tone deaf. You guys, like...
They scuttled Bismarck after she couldn't take hits anymore. That's kind of where we are at right now. We got the whole British Navy locked down on us. We need to just pull the plug if you guys aren't going to fight. God damn it. Dude, hell yeah, man. I love that. That was such a good speech you made.
Nukes, round us out.
Okay, so I think my message to wargaming and the developers behind this is you need to be much more transparent with the community, because if you don't have transparency and you don't listen to the community, that's how games die, because you're just pretending the problems don't exist, and problems pile on top of each other, and at some point everything is going to collapse. And I think we're getting extremely close to that. And I think Sly brought up a very good point about how we don't even know if the devs play this game. I mean, I have never seen a developer play this game, and that's something that is perfectly normal on pretty much every single other game you see, because they have to know the issues, and that puts them as part of the community. So if they want to fix the game, they need to be transparent with us, and we don't care if you make a ton of money. We want you to have success. We are perfectly fine with that, but we do not want money to be going nowhere. We want to at least see that all of this money we're giving you is also being used to perfect the game. And that's kind of my message, is just be transparent, and y'all have a ton of money from this game, and it would barely even scratch your pockets to, put that money into fixing the issues, and that would, in the long run, give you even more money. So that's kind of my message.